When I think of the game I want most, it's easy to put Prime 4 up there as numero uno. But the truth is, even though Metroid is my favorite Nintendo franchise, there is one game I want more. You see, Metroid is my favorite Nintendo franchise, but there's another Nintendo franchise that had a period of time where its games outranked most or even all of Metroid's games, but has gone downhill since. The game series I speak of is, of course, Pokemon. And the period in time when it outranked Metroid was, for me anyway, Generations 3 and 4. Generations 1 and 2 didn't age the greatest, and then I haven't played a lot of the later gen games. The ones I have played had problems. No, my sweet spot is the Sinnoh games, the Kanto remakes, the Johto remakes, and most of all, sweet, sweet, beautiful Hoenn. Pokemon Emerald is in my top 5 favorite games, and even then I might be placing it lower than it deserves. The memories I have of playing Emerald from elementary school to my more recent days have never left me. I never got to really play ORAS since I don't own a 3DS. I mean, a bit over a year ago I picked up Omega Ruby on Citra, played it a bit, and then dropped it because at the time I wasn't as patient as usual and didn't feel like playing a Pokemon game. But I watched a ridiculous amount of Let's Plays back in the day when it first came out, and I fell in love with the new Delta episode they added. Of course, that was 9 years ago, and since then, Pokemon's moved on. New regions, more new regions, a few remakes, and Pokemon Legends Arceus. A prequel game to the Sinnoh games, and a damn good one at that. Okay, well, its graphics weren't the best and there were other issues, but it was leagues more creative and unique than most other Pokemon games despite taking place in an old region and centering around old lore. That, my friends, is what I want out of this series. Since then, there's been plenty of hubbub about making a new Pokemon Legends game for another region. People want Pokemon Legends Celebi, Pokemon Legends Kyurem, Pokemon Legends Necrozma, and plenty more. However, the game I want, more than any of those others, the one game I want most in the world, even more than Metroid Prime friggin' 4, is Pokemon Legends Rayquaza. Today I would like to discuss how much I want this game and what I want from it, because I would kill for another trip to Hoenn. I will kill for another trip to Hoenn. If the next Pokemon Legends game Game Freak makes is anything but Hoenn, then I'm going to go take a flight to Japan and... you get the gist. Let's get started. Okay, for one, I feel like I should just specify this game would be Pokemon Legends Rayquaza, not Legends Jirachi or Legends Deoxys. I feel like the reason Arceus was on the title card in his game wasn't because he was the main mythical Pokemon of that region, it was because he was the head honcho of that region's legendary Pokemon hierarchy. And every region's legendary hierarchy, literally, he's literally God. He is God. Arceus is God. He is the head honcho of the legendary hierarchy, the Pokemon hierarchy. He is the fourth member in every legendary trio ever, just this one more so than the others. Hoenn doesn't have a literal god, but between all of its legendaries, I'd say Rayquaza is on top. Deoxys comes close, but Rayquaza has himself some ancient worshippers. Deoxys just likes to pepper the planet with meteors. Speaking of those ancient worshippers, I think they'd have to play an important part if we really are going to get a Hoenn prequel. The Draconids have a lot of lore that goes back deep into their history. If we were to get a Hoenn prequel, then we could see the Draconids in a different time when they were thriving. Several villages would be throughout Hoenn, of course, and maybe we even get to see some of the business and their history that Zinnia told us about. Seeing the entire meteor showers crashing into Hoenn and getting to watch Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre duke it out only to see Mega Rayquaza stop them would be something I would kill for. Once again, if Game Freak doesn't make the next Pokemon Legends game about Hoenn, then yeah, there's gonna be problems. We could see the creation of Sootopolis, some of the history behind the Cave of Origin, new renditions of the Sky Pillar and the Seafloor Cavern, and Cave of Origin. I want it all so bad. There's one thing I feel like I need to know. Pokemon Legends Arceus had a lot of big open areas, but you could only travel between those areas through a map screen in Jubilife City. You couldn't actually travel through the ancient Sinnoh region with open world mechanics Breath of the Wild style. That worked fine for Arceus, at least for me, though I would have loved to just open world travel through the entire Sinnoh or I guess Hisui region. But I don't want that for Hoenn. I want to be able to travel throughout each of the beautiful set pieces of the Hoenn region in HD free camera with the entire world interconnecting. It doesn't have to be full open world, it can have you fill out the map in a mostly linear fashion like it does in the Hoenn games, But I don't want to just select key locations from a world map. I want to be able to get from place to place by riding on the beautiful Hoenn Sea. And if this game has the same Pokemon encounter mechanics as Legends Arceus or Scarlet and Violet did, then I won't need to get bugged with random encounters every 3 seconds to be able to do all the water riding. I can finally enjoy the vast expanse of Hoenn's ocean without being constantly annoyed by tentacles or even random swimmer trainers. The so-called too much water will stop being too much and start being Pokemon meets the Wind Waker. I would kill for that. I love the sea. Now let's discuss the battle system. The battle system in Legends Arceus was pretty cool, but frankly, I miss being able to use items and priority moves to go before the enemy, who very much outspeeds me. So maybe make this game's battle system a mix between the normal system and that in Legends Arceus. So like I said, items, priority moves, like I kind of miss those in Legends Arceus. It was a bit annoying, just a thought. Also, I feel like there should just be more trainer battles in general. I know I just mentioned about like not wanting swimmer trainers constantly bugging me while I'm in the ocean. It's true, I don't want that. But Legends Arceus didn't have a ton of trainer battles at the same time, so I wouldn't mind it having, like, Legends Rayquaza having more. Another thing I want to touch on, the legendaries. In Legends Arceus, a lot of the legendaries were important, and a lot of legendaries were just there for the plates. Now, Sinnoh has quite a few legendaries, so I can understand that. But I'd like it if the big 3 weren't the only legendaries of note here. I'd at least like some important business with these guys, and preferably have these guys be important too. Now, with the discussion of legendaries out of the way, I'm also wondering about what this game's lineup of Pokemon would be like in general. Now, I'm not one of those Gen 1ers who think all the new Pokemon after the first gen are boring and they ran out of ideas, but I do think they maybe should have stopped after we got the first 500 in Gen 4. I mean, I like to think I don't dislike any of the Pokemon in terms of concepts. Any one of the Pokemon in Generation 5 are good on their own. Even Garbodor is funny. But we got over 150 of these guys at once. They all started to kind of blend together after we already had almost 500 of them. So I'd say keep the main cast of this region's Pokemon species to that in its original Pokedex. Maybe some extras that would stick to the Pokemon from the first 4 generations. And then since Zinnia had Pokemon from Gen 6 and this game would focus on the Draconids a lot, there would naturally be locations where there's a lot of Gen 6 Pokemon. Primarily around where the Draconids hang out. So, yeah, I really want this game. I may not get what I wish for in some of these requests, a few of them are probably too much to ask, and a few of them probably aren't, but Game Freak won't give them to me anyway. I have a sneaking suspicion that if we do get Legends Rayquaza, it won't have the open world, it'll just have the map selection again. I don't want that. But, I hope this game at least happens. I want Pokemon Legends Rayquaza. Not Pokemon Legends Kyurem, or Pokemon Legends Mew, or even Pokemon Legends Jirachi. I want Pokemon Legends Rayquaza. Maybe Pokemon Legends Deoxys, that would probably be similar, same-ish. Rayquaza, Deoxys, very related Pokemon. Plotline with one would likely involve the other. But Legends Rayquaza is what I truly need out of gaming, and there is just no other game I want more. Not Tears of the Kingdom, or Pikmin 4, or Mario Odyssey 2, or the next chapters of Deltarune, or Starlink Battle for Atlas 2, which is impossible, or Kirby in the Forgotten Land 2, or a new F-Zero, or Metroid Prime 4, or any other new game in the Metroid, Pokemon, Kirby, or any other franchises I love. No, there is no game I want more than Pokemon Legends Rayquaza. I wouldn't even pick a 3rd season of Minecraft Story Mode over this. Not that that would ever happen, Telltale Games went under, and I'm the only person in the multiverse who likes those games anyway. But if it somehow did, and it was released on the same day as Pokemon Legends Rayquaza, I would look at it with sorrow in my eyes and say, worry not, I'll play you someday, before spending the next 100 hours in the Hoenn region. So please, Game Freak, please, give me this game. You know fans will eat it up. It'd be a perfect first Pokemon game for the next system. Just give. Please, give it to me. I need more Rayquaza stuff. He's such a cool legendary.